Morning and welcome to another race day adventure. We're off to Brands Hatch today. It's looking sunny right now where we are. Hopefully it stays that way the whole day. Just flip you round. Here's the car. All ready to rock and roll. Let's get going. Good morning. Well, we've made it to Brands. It's currently sunny, hence the sunglasses. Predicted thunderstorms at race 1 though, so we'll see how that goes. We're just unloading the car now. We're right down the end of the paddock, although there is a big empty gap in the middle where the caterings were here yesterday, but they've gone today. So yeah, there's the car. That's all of us down the end. There's some others that way as well. But yeah, just getting the car ready for qualifying. Race 1 I think is about 1:30, and then race 2 is about 5:30. But hopefully race 2 should be nice and dry. Let's hope. So I'm just here at Paddock Hill Bend, which is one place to watch, so you can see where it is there. Paddock Hill Bend, you come around that corner, come down here, down there up to Graham Hill. As you can see, it's really sunny. But yeah, I'll be doing a track tour, Brands Hatch tour, as a separate video, so you can see all the highlights of Brands. If you're new to Brands, haven't been here before, don't know where's best to stand, where's best to watch, where to get food, drinks, toilets, ways into the paddock, ways into the pits, that sort of thing, I'll be giving all those highlights for you. But yeah, right now I'm just enjoying the sun. It's nice and warm out here, so I've come out here, because where we are in the paddock it's really cold because it's in the shade.
Is that noisy enough for you now? I want that sound on my car. Don't worry.
So here is another little handy place to watch. So I'm in the pits, so these are all the garages just here. Assembly is just over there. So to get to assembly you would go through the tunnel in the paddock and then just come straight down here. They've just done like a scrutineering noise test just here, and as we had a first qualifying session of the day, Brands are currently just checking all the lights work and everything. Currently it's actually red, it looks like yellow on the screen, but it's actually they're doing the red flag logos. But yeah, as you can see the exit to Graham Hill, just down there, along here, and on to Clearways and just onto the straight. So it's actually, you can see quite a bit from here as well. Well, how did you find qualifying?
Oh, hold on. Qualifying. As it's drizzling a bit, I wanted to get out there quick and get a lap time in quickly, a banker lap. I thought it was going to pour with rain, but it hasn't actually poured with rain. It's just stayed drizzly.
Yeah,
the
like
track
this.
was kind of, it wasn't dry. It was just a tad slippy. But it could be because I'm not used to the tyres of the car. So I was chucking it around, and it was actually quite controllable. It was going sideways, but I could control it on the throttle, so I was quite pleased with that. And currently, I'm the first to I guess my main competitor is probably that one. He's already in, so he's not going to beat me. So we'll see. Hopefully, I can do the same in the race.
And was it the car noise level okay?
It was actually quite noisy. I got through scrutineering, noise test, but on the track, could you hear it?
Yeah.
It was quite noisy on the track.
Well, yes, I can hear you on the track now.
What, more than anybody else?
No.
Ah,
Before I couldn't hear you at all.
yeah, when I went round paddock and then routed it round paddock, the noise level was quite high. But it seems to be performing, so that's the key thing.
Car we are missing from the grid is the number 8 Andrew Neil Peugeot 106. It's just trundled down pit lane, and I think it's underneath our commentary box now, so maybe a pit lane start or not taking the start at all. So that's a shame. The neatly turned out 106 leaves a gap on what was row 4. So there's a gap in the middle of row 4, outside of row 4, but we're about to go racing the afternoon's action. Okay, so then we await the red lights to come on. They are now on, and we're about to go racing. Oh, bad start from David Clark. It's a good start from Bassett, though, from second place. He takes the lead as they approach Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. You've got Ken Mark in the Corrado behind him. So that's on top two as they roll through the first corner. Further back, there's a four-room Corrado, further down the order, there's Sheffer, I believe, in that car. Yes, so the first few cars going through Druids Bend now, and it is the 306 that we've seen be so competitive in the classic and modern motorsport club races. Now, in this track attack race club, it has some opportunity in the overall win. No big bad Ford to deal with on this one. Nick Winnett, though, his car looks like it's in stripe. He just pulled off the circuit in a very regular fashion, coming out of Graham Hill Bend. I think the car that started on second row isn't going to get very far in this one, sadly. That's a disappointment. A couple of the what hatches did, having difficulty in the early stages. We lost the Peugeot 106 of Andrew Neil. Doesn't look like he took the start from the pit lane. That's a real shame that we've lost Neil after an impressive qualifying, but the 106 in trouble. The 306 is flying away at the front of the field. Unsurprisingly, really, if you watch the new racing at Brands over the course of the weekend, you know that Chris Bassett is very rapid indeed. He's fighting with the Super Saloon runners in the Classic on the Motorsport Cup and keeping busy in track attack and going nicely at the end of the field round Druids for the second time. So it's second overall as the Golden Mark being driven by Chris Allen. Through into second place. Ken Mark under pressure from David Clark. grids, at least 4 cars involved in that one, including the little Citroen C2 of Robert Collins, which is limping back towards where the rallycross circuit used to be. And then we've got at least 3 more cars involved, one towards the top of the grids, and then 2 of the 206 GTI car brothers stranded in the circuit as well. Safety car naturally has been deployed for the time being. We do help us on the drivers holding out looking fair in, but certainly a heavy impact there. And safety car is of course the way to go in those circumstances. Red flag has now been deployed. Spencer, we are going to go into red flag conditions now. In addition to that incident, we also have the witness car coming off and still just on the exit of Bradhill Man as well.
Red flag.
The field will travel back around to Main Straight. Severely reduced pace. First and foremost, we worry about the safety of the drivers, and from there we can consider the we should expect the red lights at any moment then. Red lights are on, red lights are off, we go racing. It's a better start this time from David Clark. Clark got the inside line as they run towards turn 1. It's a great start for number 75. So that's Buckland way up as far as maybe even 3rd place in the 75 car, but he's gone loose. He's just about held onto it, catching the slide there. Lots of cement dust down on the approach to Druid's Bend. That's going to dirty up the tyres right before the braking side of Druid, so that's going to cause some tricky driving. It's the 33 car though that leads. It's Chris Bassett at the head of the order in the 33 306. Then it's David Clark. It is Renault 5 BRSCC hounded by the much larger Mark 4 Golf of Chris Adams. Yeah, from row 3, he made a brilliant start. He's up into the top 3 positions already and leading the Deutschmark aspect of this race in the VW Golf. So going along very nicely off a superb start, but as expected before the red flag, not on the pace of the 306, and it's Bassett who leads the Renault 5 into Bradhill Bend. Get moved for 4th place, Ken Lark with a normal straight line speed of 3 leads to Corrado. Manages to alongside and take 4th place back from Rob Buckland in the Clio. So Ken is through to 4th place. Tony Hunter's there in 6th. He's side by side at the moment with a number of the Clios. That's Matthew Ollier off his inside as they go into Bradhill Bend. Matthew still side by side. I think Tony's going to get the better of that one. Yes, he does. Andy Thompson's right there with them as well. In the Seat Leon at the head of the order. It's Chris Bassett though at the top. Currently in the lead of the race. David Clark will be relieved that he at least got off the line properly this time, the little Renault 5, and he can now focus on trying to get himself back up to the kind of speed we saw in qualifying earlier on today. So confirmation that we had 21 cars take the start there, so we did lose quite a few, not just in the incidents with the hotel, but also a few cars ended up pulling up and taking a 3-point turn and going back to paddock in the interim. I think a lot of cars overheating. So then the cars heading through Druids now, some of them already at Bradhill Bend, and Tony Hunter has managed to clear Matthew Ollier in 6th place now. Andy Thompson is falling through the field a little more than I expected as well. I think he's down as far as 9th place now. In the number 4, the Seat Leon. Further back, Peugeot 206 is having a good little scrap. Currently Cole Howe is leading that group in a class which is due to run on its standalone category next season. It's really sort of a feeder year for the 206. As you mentioned in qualifying, there's enough cars to go for a full campaign if they are looking at that for next season. So it'd be good to see 206 Darryl circuit and the CC variant is allowed in the regulation, but that would be interesting to see as well. So that's intriguing. The CC is slightly different shape. 111 car, Richard Lockley has been Honda, which wasn't playing ball this morning, going along nicely. They're going to come up into third overall on the runs down out the car curve, down the front straight, and surely he'll be the favourite in the overall win. It's a bit of a shame that there's no one running out there. That's the problem with the big test away of many other drivers going in different categories. The cars, high power, Subarus, Mazdas, which previously made up the category, not around now. Honda Civics still showing some great speed. Absolutely up to third in the overall class, leading the overall standings, I should say, leading the little challenge element of the race up to third overall. A clear power advantage over the big Mark IV Golf in fourth place. So Adams is now having to fight off Buckland. So Robert Buckland right up behind that number 6 car of Chris Adams as they, and actually, bite my tongue, Buckland has gone through that up at Clearways and Clark curve and is through into fourth place. So fourth for the Clio now. That's also, of course, third and Tricolor Trophy, given our top two at the head of the field. Also within Tricolor Trophy, as friendly car in that 306, leading the way with 0.9 seconds with just 2 minutes of racing left to go. Then it's Dave Clark in second position. So Clark in the 87 car, running nicely. I'll be happy to have got a better start, but he'll be best pleased with second. I think he fancied a fight with Bassett in 306 today, if it's all possible. Robert Buckland is not letting go of Rich Hockley in the slightest. Rich Hockley has some pressure here out of the Clio, which definitely doesn't have the same kind of straight line speed as the Honda Civic, but around the corners, Buckland's able to soar at the wheel, get through the apexes that little bit quicker. So they come across the line now, just a minute and 30 left to run. There's Rich Hunter in 5th place as well, so he's managed to get past Adams. Chris Adams has dropped the way order a little bit in these last few laps, and is down to 6th place. Ken Lark just behind him in 7th, so Adams still has a Deutsche Marks lead granted. But he's pretty happy to have seen those Clios and the Civic blow past him in the last few laps. Behind Ken Lark, who runs in 7th place, we have a battle for 8th. That is between Hollier and Andy Thompson. Thompson all over the back of Hollier now. Andy Hollier in the black Clio, running 8th overall. I think he might be under threat before the end of this race, though, as Thompson's and Seat is looking racy behind him. Leader has turned into Paddock Hill Bend and heads now down towards Druid. That white black and red 306. 6.6 seconds clear now at this stage, but the black Hopper and Mollis, the white 306, and he's been driving fabulously to this point in the race. We have 20 seconds left to go, so I think this is going to be the final lap of the race, if I'm not mistaken. Dave Clark is there in 2nd place, so he's comfortable. 3rd place, Rich Hockley, not so much, because he still has Rob Buckland filling his mirrors as they go down the Cooper Straight. Time ticks to 0 now, so we should see the checkered flag wave, and we do. Checkered flag goes to Bassett. What an absolutely fabulous drive from Chris Bassett in the 306, showing just what that 306 is capable of. David Clark comes across the line in 2nd place. The train race to the line of other Peugeot 206s. What's that for the 206 leader? That was 3rd place. I think he went away at the 95 of Mitchell there eventually.
So how was race 1 then? Action packed.
It was hectic. Well, it was 2 starts to it. Good start in the first race, and I had Carl Powell right behind me, and I thought I could hold him off. We were doing okay, and then it was red flag because there was quite a big smash. You can probably pan over and see.
Yeah.
Well, you can't see it because there's people in front of it. But it was a really bad smash, so they had to red flag it. And then the restart, again, a good start, and I had Carl right behind me. And to be fair, he outbraked me going into Paddock Hill Bend. I'm just a little bit early on the brakes going into Paddock. I could see him coming around the outside. Could have held my line, but it would have been a bit tight, so I let him go. And then I had Kevin right up behind me, and Kevin just have a little bit more straight line speed. And he got past me on the start finish straight, so I thought, alright, fair enough, let him go. I don't think my car's slow now, although my exhaust manifold was blowing and it was getting progressively worse, so I may have been losing a bit of power. Then I had Paul Rice on me. Paul Rice did get past. Then I had quite a good battle with him. I had a little kiss with him, a little love touch going round Graham Bend, and I eventually got him back on the last lap, just over the start finish line. And I think I've been given position above Paul Rice.
Yeah.
So I've got to look at the exhaust manifold now because it is blowing progressively louder and louder and louder.
Yeah, of course. It's gone. So annoying. Try to wire it together.
Trophy?
Ta-da! Trophy! Lavish. Third in class. Not as good as first, but we'll work on it.
I'm a little man now.
Hello. This sort of, that sort of width would be alright, my very quick count, 33 that were listed on the grid, all creeping off the line, but we are underway. I think Bassett's will be a bit worried about a jump start there because he did free forward, seemingly already well. David Clark has been spoiled by the field for a second consecutive race. He's had a poor start, and Robert Buckland is into the gravel. Buckland, unfortunately, into the gravel. He's not going to dig that car out without assistance, so that could well end up being a safety car. But it's side by side for the lead coming out of Druid between the 306 and the Honda Civic. It's a 90s Tesco car park fighting for the lead of the race here. The Peugeot 306 ahead of the Honda Civic. Chris Bassett ahead of Rich Hockley, and Hockley has to settle the second for the time being. Tony Hunter there up into third place ahead of David Clark, and then I think in fifth place is another of the Clios. However, the safety car is already out, and they pick it up just out of the last corner. They're going to need to speed up a little bit there though, because quite a few people were going at full chat there, and I think Tony Hunter is going to have to get past back past David Clark, because Clark was pushing very hard, very much focused on getting back into the top three. Didn't realise it was a safety car, and went back past Tony Hunter. Hunter, however, has now reclaimed third place, and Bassett and Hockley side by side at the very beginning. An exciting start to what promises to be an exciting race between the two of them, but unfortunately the race at the top of the order won't be to Robert Buckland, who is in the gravel and will need to be extracted from cars are available, new builds for about £3,500 according to the organisers. If you like to get into budget racing, the 206 is have their own standalone grid, or at least that's the plan for 2022. The Track Attack Race Cup has got big plans ahead. It travels around the country as well. Was due an event at Den Hill earlier in the year. Sadly that didn't take place, but they've got a good grid at Brands this weekend. The 206s, the CC model thrown in as well. Should be a good addition to the British Motorsport calendar. Yeah, absolutely. We're expecting some exciting racing at the production GTIs, particularly without having to worry about any faster cars coming up in their rear view mirrors. In a 15-minute race, they do tend to get caught up towards the end, and that can sometimes impede on leading battles. So they'll be very excited for that separation from the rest of the grid. The Tech Race Club really have put a great thing on there with the production GTIs. It's a very popular concept. It is proving to be. Bassett and Hockley then on top two. We are right in Bassett, of course, the leader of the Treefloor Trophy. Hockley again is listed as Treefloor Trophy on the TSL tiling, but a little bit of geography for you. Honda is in fact a Japanese company, and that is of course the leading car in the challenge rather than factory Treefloor. Tony Hunter then up to second place in Treefloor Trophy with third overall ahead of David Clark. Then in fifth place is Thurston, who started all the way down in 10th. He had a good lap, Bradley Thurston, up to 5th position. And then in 6th place, the first of the German car, the leading car in the Deutsche Marks category. That is, of course, the Golf 1-4 belonging to Chris Adams. Adams, you made a good getaway in race 1. But the club sort of pride itself on being the only club dedicated to specific national manufacturers. Yeah, it's an Olympic style racing for the countries away. You have to have the French, German and the N1 Challenge running as well, which hopefully we'll see more running down the circuit for the boxes. 2008, I remember big grids of that in previous years, and which is still going. 3 strong classes out on the circuit all as one. The Clio's now moved on to the tumble downhill part of the rallycross circuit, and the Renault Clio into a place of safety. Shouldn't be too far away, one more lap, just one more lap hopefully behind the safety car. Well, I think they'll still have to put the tractor back into position, so that might take over a lap. Yet, so it might be 2 more before we get to go to green flag conditions, but we'll wait and see. But certainly we will get at least half a race out of this, or half of the allotted time for the race under green flag conditions. Should this be the only safety car? Unfortunate again, they've had their ties into here. Of course, we had the red flag earlier on as well. But that is often the way here at Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. You know, safety cars, red flags, they do happen from time to time. And here at this track, it is short, sharp and fast. And as we've heard from so many drivers down in the pit lane, it is so difficult to overtake. When you get an overtake right, it's the best feeling in the world, but they can sometimes go wrong. That is the nature of this circuit, but nonetheless, at the moment, no overtaking required from the 33 car. So Bassett it is that's going to lead the way, and they are going green this time, so they're going to keep the tractor down by the rallycross circuit, so that's good to see. And we will get to go racing again this time. So Bassett's in the 33 car, it is that will lead them away. Chris Bassett controlling the field, he hasn't gone yet, now he has. Accelerates away in the big Peugeot 306, then it's the Civic in second place. The 111 car of Hockley, Tony Hunter there in third, David Clark all over the back of him in the little Renault 5 with an amazing amount of power out of it. I think it will play in as well from Hockley, even the Civic as they turn to Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Very careful, very considerate through Paddock Hill Bend for this return to green flag action. Racing is going to get back to its normal track Tech Race Club elbow out style before too long. There's Hollier under pressure from Bernie Thompson. That's the white strong in a straight line, and may well challenge into Paddock Hill Bend as a result of that. Fifth place battle still very close as well. The Golf of Chris Adams in fifth for that fifth spot ahead of Thurston and Hollier on top 7. Where's that third place scrap? Here they come, Tony Hunter with a good new car. That's over Rick Copley. I was wondering if his car is maybe just starting to feel invincible on their racing. Quite seems to be as awful song as it was before. Fifth place battle across the line now. That is Chris Adams now there with Thurston in sixth place. Thurston would be happy with this result. He started 10th on the grid, worked his way up the order very nicely in the early going. Hollier is still behind him in 7th place as well as people here in 7th place. Like to try and move up 6th if he can. He's not way ahead of him. His champion and his rival in the Treacle Trophy, being of course Rick Thurston. No such concerns, no balance to worry about at all if your name is Chris Bassett. He crossed the line now to take the win for Peugeot 306. Great drive from him. Then it's David Clark across the line in second, and Tony Hunter just about holds on to third place despite the best efforts of Rick Copley in fifth place will go to Chris Adams. Chris Adams across the line in fifth place. Then it's Bradley Thurston, Matthew Hollier.
So it's been a frantic start to race 2, not knowing if we're going to get out there or not.
I need my mechanic, Nick, my mechanic, I need him back. It was very stressful trying to get the exhaust fixed. Didn't actually fix it. It lasted half a lap. So I had the noisiest car out there. I had to start from the pit lane because I was late to assembly. They put me down the pit lane, so I had to wait for all the cars to go. They had done a green flag lap, all the tyres up. But I actually got quite a good start. It put me out right at the back of them. I got past a couple within a lap, and then safety car came out because someone was in the room. And then the restart, matey boy in the Golf who was in front of me wouldn't get up behind the car in front of him. Very frustrating. I even debated pushing him at one point. But I changed my mind, decided I won't push him, and I was just off his arse. I actually got the jump on him going out around the clearways, but then he's got those horsepower, he just poof, went away. So it took me a while to catch the Audi TT, and then it took 9 laps to catch my teammate, Watley. I caught him. And eventually passed him. I was behind him for a few more laps. Eventually passed him when he made a little mistake going around Graham Hill Bend, and I could tell he was very frustrated because he was banging the steering wheel as I went past him. Because I gave him a little wave, but he was very frustrated. He was banging the wheel and all sorts. And that's basically where I finished. Third from last, whatever position that was, probably 15th, 16th, because there weren't that many cars.
21st. So how are your ears?
Ringing.
It was very loud. You could hear you the whole way around the track.
You should have been inside the car. It was actually vibrating the car from the exhaust. I hope it doesn't actually damage the engine. I don't know. I hope it doesn't. But it was banging and all sorts. Unfortunately, my camera ran out of battery because I forgot to turn it off at the early race. So I've not recorded in the car, which is a bit of a bummer. Because that would have been quite a noisy one. But yeah, ears are ringing a bit in a minute.